Hey everyone, my name is Ford from NorCal Thrills, and today I'm bringing you an update from Six Flags Discovery Kingdom for October 14th, 2023. Of course, in this update we'll be covering the 3 fall events that the park puts on: Oktoberfest, Boo Fest, which is the kids' Halloween event, and Fright Fest, the park's scary Halloween event. This year, the first 2 of those in particular were much expanded and better, which we'll take a look at. But we'll also check out some of the smaller updates from around the park, including the redevelopment of some former ride queue area. Let's get started. Let's start with Oktoberfest. Like last year, this is the park's celebration of German heritage, focused around entertainment and food and drink. Unlike last year, where the event was mostly focused on the picnic grove, this year the event was moved to the new festival grounds. There are 4 food and drink stands this year: Oktober Feast, which occupies the former Macho Nacho stand and serves bratwurst and German hamburgers; Wurst and Kraut, which also serves bratwurst and sauerkraut; Pretzel House, with pretzels and popcorn; and Bavarian Brews, serving beer and other drinks. Also, like last year, some live entertainment has been brought back, including a band of musicians who play traditional German music on the festival stage at the front of the festival area. And finally, you can buy some German-related souvenirs at the Mode House stand. Since this year's event space was bigger, we see more little scenic elements this year, including lots of kegs, and what I have to assume is a giant game of beer pong. This year's event seems much larger and more interesting and varied than last year's event, and I hope the park continues to expand it in the future. Similarly, Boo Fest, the park's kid-friendly Halloween event, has been expanded. Like last year, this event is largely held in Looney Tunes Harbor and features the same trick-or-treat trail where kids can walk around to a couple booths and get some candy. But unlike last year, there was a corn maze and a little hedge maze inside the area for kids to run around in. Like last year, there was a costume contest, but this year also featured a spooky show at the stage. And also like last year, some animal shows returned, in this case the Ghoul School show at Sea Lion Stadium. This year also featured a lot more very cool decorations all around the area. The biggest expansion, though, came as a result of Boo Fest taking over the Seaside Junction area. That brought us a new restaurant in the former ice cream stand, some new ride renames, and a store rename to go along with the coolest part, a foam party area for kids to run around and play in the foam. Just like Oktoberfest, this event has expanded a lot and is much better than what it was last year. I can't wait to see what it becomes next year. But finally, Fright Fest again is the big draw of the season. And this year again features a mix of new and returning mazes, scare zones, shows, rides, and food that you remember from last year. Let's start with the mazes. Carnival, the Sulphur City Society, and Big Top Terror returned from last year, with Big Top Terror remaining an upcharge. The new maze this year is Club Fear in 3D, which takes place in the bumper cars area. I walked through Sulphur City Society and was impressed with some large props and some characters with great energy, although I think I went too early in the event to have all the characters at their stations. On the Scare Zone side, both Dead Man's Party and Slasher Circus returned this year. Dead Man's Party again features a DJ with lots of guests dancing the night away as the sun goes down, in addition to some of the most energetic and into-it characters I've ever seen. Slasher Circus features the sliding monsters who always manage to scare guests terribly. New this year are Corpse Crossing on the back walkway, Weeping Wharf near the food court, and Murder Mill in front of the aquarium. As always, these scare zones feature some very energetic performers, and I always enjoy just watching other guests get scared. And just like last year, although the mazes require a paid Haunted Attractions pass to experience, the scare zones and shows remain free for guests. We again have 2 shows, the first being the returning Creep Show Freak Show, playing at the stage near Whitewater Safari. But new this year is Unleashed, the opening ceremony show that takes place at the festival grounds. I get some good footage of the Freak Show performers advertising their show for the crowd. And also this year, there's the normal ride changes, some of which are just name changes like Dead Man's Float or Double Double Toil and Trouble, but others feature new elements like how Monkey Business gets enclosed to become Cauldron Chaos. And also like last year, we see plenty of exciting themed food and drinks all around the park, including at the new RIP bar next to Dead Man's Party. The RIP Lounge returns as a VIP area next door, and it has a very cool new sign this year. And finally, the park is well decorated with plenty of Halloween photo ops all over the park. All of the fall events at this park combine to make a fantastic celebration of the season, ranging from adult-friendly activities like Fright Fest to more child-friendly fare like Boo Fest, and somewhere in between like Oktoberfest. Props to the park for making a great event. To wrap up our update, let's talk about some of these smaller changes from around the park this month. Over at Superman, some of the former queue space has been redeveloped into a VIP seating area available as an upcharge. Seems like a nice place in the shade to relax a little while. Also in DC Universe, the former Penguin ride site that we last saw had a big temporary tent on it, had the tent removed with the tables staying on site. The back half of the plot was covered with turf and covered tables. It looked like the VIP spot, but the signage wasn't up and it seemed open to people. This is much better looking than where it was my last visit. In the food court area, the former Chop 6 location was replaced by a Korean corn dog stand. There's some cool customization on the menu, and it seemed really popular with a big line all night. Great on Six Flags for giving us some unique food instead of just plain theme park fare. I was disappointed to see that the former snake exhibits in line for Sidewinder Safari have all been covered up and the animals removed. It was such a step forward for the park when it came to theming that it's a bummer to see it be removed. We'll see if they're re-added in the future. And finally, like we've covered in the past, the former Walrus exhibit used to have a new for 2024 banner on the outside, but that banner has been removed. This could be because the area was used as part of a haunt, but if that's the case, I expect to see it back up in my next visit. We'll see. And that wraps up our update for today. In this update, we covered the 3 fall events that SFDK puts on: Oktoberfest, Boo Fest, and Fright Fest. The first 2 in particular seem much improved over where they were last year, and Fright Fest continues to be a fun, scary Halloween event. We also covered some minor changes at the park, including a new restaurant in the food court and some disappointing theming-related news. My next visit from Discovery Kingdom will be in November or December for Holiday in the Park.